Alrighty guys, good morning. Um, I sucked at doing the vlogs last time, so I'm trying to make sure I remember to do it this time. Um, I'm currently chilling at the airport at LAX, waiting to board my flight, Korean Air. Um, really easy process, really cool airline. Recommend. I am here with my not so little brother.
Hello.
But yeah, I will take some I'll take some footage on the plane and show you our seat and what we get to eat, all that kind of stuff. While I'm in Manila, Sean is gonna kind of be my cameraman.
Videographer. What do we get?
So I will check back in with you guys when we're on the plane, eating some good food and stuff, and looking at nothing but ocean for 13 hours. Alrighty guys, here is the long-awaited vlog. I'm sorry this took so long. I have been putting hundreds of pictures together, and then I had to record this like back commentary slash video, and I had to put everything together, the pictures, the videos, make it all make sense, get some music for the background a little bit, and make sure it wasn't copyright protected so I can actually monetize this video because I'm putting a lot of work into it. And yeah, it's a whole thing. Like with YouTube, you really gotta like algorithm and copyright, and you gotta, it's a balance and it's a thing and it's a process. But so I am so excited to show this to you guys because I had the most wonderful time. And I'm already planning my trip back because I didn't want to leave. I miss it. So, and I am gonna say, guys, like I am the worst vlogger. A majority of this is probably going to be pictures more than videos because I suck at remembering to pull the camera out and like talk to it. Not on purpose, but I'm the type of person where I get very into the moment, and I'm not the person that likes to live my life through my phone, which is funny being a content creator because I use video and phone. So it's probably something I need to work on. But nonetheless, I took a lot of pictures, but forgot to take as many videos because I was really in the moment. I was trying to experience your guys' culture and experience the beauty of the Philippines, and I was mainly just inside Metro Manila the entire time, but on my future trips I would like to visit the islands and stuff like that. So there's so much more to see and I can't wait to see it. But I will apologize in advance that it's not as video heavy as it could be. Lots of pictures, lots of experiences, lots of commentary on my part, lots to tell you guys, but I kind of suck in videos, I'm sorry. So without further ado, let's go eat it. So leading up to this, you guys know I was working my little tail off. I was doing like DoorDash, Amazon Flex, I was donating plasma, like I was doing all the things, trying to make extra money for the trip just in case, you know, like it's a vacation. Anyone that's taking any type of trip anywhere knows that anything that could possibly go wrong will go wrong. So I wanted to be prepared because I wasn't just like in another state, like I was in a completely other country, you know. If I needed something, there wasn't anyone really I could run to. So I was like, all right, like let's make sure we have a little nest egg there in case anything goes wrong. Which thankfully nothing really did for the most part, other than long layovers on the way home. But so shout out first to my nail lady, Jeanette, who fixed my nails the day before the trip because I got them done a week before the trip, which in retrospect I should have gotten it done closer to the trip. But the day before I left, I was delivering some packages and I fell out of my car, like legitimately fell out of my car. My little Amazon vest got like stuck on something in my car and I like fell. And when I went to grab myself, like, or whatever, like grab the car door to protect myself, it snapped my nail like completely in half. And I was just like, no, legitimately in tears because I was like, why? So she was able to squeeze me in last minute, like in between clients, and fix the nail like brand new. Wouldn't have known a thing. So shout out to her. So the next day was my flight out to Cali. I went a day before the flight to Manila because one, I wanted to see a couple of my friends. And I wanted to get my hair done. Fresh hair for the trip, going back to my blonde roots. Um, so this is my time to shout out my beautiful best friend, who is also my one and only hairdresser, Miss Alyssa at the Blonder over here. She is the greatest hairstylist. She is so friendly, so awesome. Gets my stuff on point every time. She's never fried my hair. She's never done anything like that. So, like, if you're in the Inland Empire Riverside area, she's your girl. If you don't know where that's at, that's like hour and a half east of LA. So, shout out to Alyssa and everything that comes with that. Hair turned out amazing, and I was ready to go for the trip. So with my fresh hair and nails, and I'll have Alyssa's Instagram handle and stuff down in the description. It was time for me and my little brother to head out to the Philippines. We flew Korean Airlines, and we had a layover in Seoul, 3.5, 4 hours. It wasn't too bad. The food options, like they gave you multiple options each time. They have like everything from beef stew to curry to milkfish. And they had an option that you got like an email a couple days prior that if you had any dietary restrictions, you could let them know and they'd try to appease that. If you had any, vegan or allergies or whatever, you could let them know, and then you got your meal separately. Cool note too, I don't know if like anyone else pays attention to this, but there was a little flight tracker on the screen thing, and it would tell you like how far you were from your destination, how much longer was in the flight, how high you were, how fast you were going, whatever. There was a little like a map of a globe and a plane showing you kind of where you were over the ocean, and there was even cameras that you could click on. There was one under the plane and one in front of the plane, I believe, where you could see what like the sky or the ocean or whatever, like you could see. It was pretty cool. Like it's just a fun thing to look at. I kind of find it interesting during the flight to know where we're at. Definitely recommend the airline. The flight itself was very comfortable. It was just very smooth. The food was absolutely delicious. You got like 2 meals and a snack for a 13-hour flight, so not too bad. Tons of movies and TV shows and stuff to watch on the little TV screen. The flight attendants were amazing. They were very friendly, and they were some of the most beautiful flight attendants I've ever seen in my life. Like, ridiculously pretty. And they were just really amazing people. The entire flight felt like it went by pretty quickly, which I was surprised. I was kind of anticipating the worst with it being such a long flight, but it was really nice. I'd like to do Philippines Airline next time because they do like the straight flight to Manila. So that's on the list for next time. But I was in economy the entire time. And so for an economy flight, 13 hours, it really wasn't bad. I was very impressed with the flight experience and everything that went with it. So we finally got to Manila at about midnight, and I was trying to like beat the whole jet lag thing because I didn't want because I flew in so close to the concert. I did not want to have the jet lag thing. So we got in at midnight, and the plan was to head directly. I booked one night at Dreamworld North Etsa because the next day was checking in for the Hyatt, or essentially the same day because we got in at midnight. So at 4 p.m. that same day, we'd be checking in at Hyatt, but we just kind of needed somewhere to go to and crash real quick so that we get some sleep and start to get onto the time zone and that we were currently in. So we got a grab ride from the airport over to North Etsa. We went ahead and went straight to sleep as soon as we got there after the excitement of being in a different country and stuff wore off. I immediately noticed how lively it was, even at midnight. Like there was a ton of people still walking around the streets. Like there was street vendors and just people walking around like it was the middle of the day, and I absolutely loved that. I thought it was so cool. The first thing my little brother noticed, because he was born and raised in Southern California by the beach, is he noticed the humidity, which like for me wasn't too bad. Like I've lived in Texas the past few years. South Texas, Houston is very, very humid during the summer and very, very hot. So to me, it wasn't too bad. For him, he was just like blown away with the humidity. That's the probably the only part of the trip that he doesn't miss was the heat. Everything else he loved. So we got to the hotel. We met with our tour guide slash friend out there, Carol, and we all went to bed. And then the next day, it was time to head to Hyatt. So right away when we got there, one of the first things I noticed was the security guy when you pull up that scans the little device under the car and then opens the trunk to check for bad stuff. Which kind of like was weird, but also kind of nice. You felt very safe walking in because you had to go through that guy, then all of your bags have to go through like a scanner thing, and you have to walk through a metal detector. Like there's a lot of security just the going into the hotel. And that was something I realized a lot or got to notice a lot just being in Manila in general was there's a lot of security pretty much everywhere. There's like an armed guard at the Jollibee. Like it was different, but it was nice. Like I didn't feel unsafe really at any point, which was nice. The biggest thing that can take away from this trip, even though I've still got a lot to talk to you guys about, but the biggest thing I can take away is I felt very at home for a place that I've never been, and for a place that is very like the States in some ways and very unlike the States in a lot of ways. I never felt that feeling of like homesick. I never felt that feeling of culture shock or anything. I just felt kind of right away at home, which was really nice and a little bit surprising. Alrighty, guys, so I am here at the Hyatt. I just checked in, but they were still cleaning my room, so I'm just kind of waiting. We got our tickets and our little bag of goodies. And so just waiting to get to the room, and then I'm going to go check out the venue and stuff, go by it just so I have an idea of where it's at, what it looks like, and stuff for tomorrow. I'm like one area back from the stage, so I'm going to be decently close. Not bad tickets. Yeah, I'm excited. Just want to check in with you guys. I went straight to sleep after I got to the hotel last night. Our little one-nighter at Dream World. So yeah, we're just gonna be checking everything out, and then maybe doing a little shopping, maybe checking out one of the pop-up shops, and then prepping everything for tomorrow, getting the outfit ready, deciding how I'm gonna do the hair. I don't think I'm gonna win the best dress thing, but I'm gonna try. So yeah, I'm loving it here. I'm not gonna want to go home. So I'll check in with you guys later. So, first impressions of the Hyatt, so bougie. They really took care of you with the global fan package. You got a little baggie that had some gifts in it. You got your wristbands, your tickets, and you got your room, obviously. And then there was free breakfast at the buffet each morning we were there. And it was so nice. The room was beautiful. We had a great view of like the highway and some of the city. And then the food was absolutely amazing at that buffet. Like it was so beautifully set up. Everything was clean and tidy and put together. And all the people working there were super friendly. Everyone greeted you. Everyone said hello. Something that I found really cool was like fellow 18 that would see you would walk up to you and be like, "Oh, where are you from? Are you 18? What country are you from? Who's your bias?" Like there would be everyone was so welcoming from the start. There was no weird looks. Like you can get with some fandoms, not to talk down on anybody, but like some fandoms can get very territorial and they're like, who's the outsider? Who's the American? Like they can get very wishy-washy sometimes. In certain countries are not as favorable to American tourists as others. It's just what it is. But the Philippines was absolutely amazing. Everyone was so friendly, so lovely to me. There was not once that I felt, like I said, not once that I felt unsafe or unwanted at any point during this trip. So there was a little coffee shop downstairs. There was obviously the buffet. There was a casino that connected Hyatt and Nobu, and the whole thing was just super bougie and super beautiful. And we very much enjoyed our stay there. So after we got all checked in, we had a little coffee. I ate a little ube cookie, and it was delicious. And then we decided to head out and do some walking and kind of look at where the venue was at, where the fan zone was going to be held at, just like to get a lay of the land of where everything was um, before the concert so that we had an idea of where we needed to go. So, one thing I did forget to mention before the show was we did go to the pop up shop that was inside of the Mall of Asia, which was super cool. The line was kind of long. It maybe took me like 40 minutes to get through it. It wasn't terrible. The shop was really cute. My brother bought the Dunka bag, and then I bought a coaster and the stealth pin that I wore during the concert with my boyfriend t-shirt. But overall, I thought it was really cute. Things were pretty decently priced. It wasn't like over the top. They gave you the bag. Um, and the workers were all really friendly. Overall, cool experience. I'm kind of jealous now. They just said that they released like new merchandise, and I'm like, yeah, like they got a T-shirt and stuff. So I wish I was there to get it, but I'm not. So pretty much the rest of that night was just kind of exploring, getting to know the lay of the land. Um, and then we went to bed semi early because at this point we're pretty tired. We hadn't gotten too much sleep the night before, and the I'm not gonna say the excitement factor was wearing off, but it was like oof, finally time to rest, right? So the next day was the concert, and this is gonna take a long time to talk about this. So the morning of, obviously, fan zone was first. So we went out to the fan zone. We did not last very long because my little brother was complaining the entire time about the heat. Um, love the boy to death. He cannot. Kind of my not so little brother. He's kind of a big boy, and he was not a fan. So the standing and waiting in lines in the direct sunlight, like he was not having it. And we got through maybe two lines. We did the truck, the Wakas at Simula truck, and then we did um I think some random line we just went through to get the freebies. And otherwise we just kind of walked around, and the amount of stuff that was just passed to me was like without even having to wait in a line, like people were just handing stuff. And so a majority of the freebies that I got, like I probably could have gotten a lot more had I actually waited in the lines, but a majority of the stuff that I got, people just handed me. They just kind of walk up to you and they're like, "Who's your bias?" And then they hand you something. You guys are so creative. Like I cannot even fathom the amount of time and effort that you guys put into all of this stuff. Like, I mean, handmade pillows and little pins and magnets, and I mean, there's just so much stuff. You guys put so much love and so much work into it, and I find it so incredible. Um, it was such a cool experience just to see how many people were there, to see how much work you guys put into the fandom. Like it was just really fun to see. It was very hot. Obviously, we went to the like 7-Eleven to get drinks, and the line was like out the door. The refrigerators were like almost empty. So I think everyone was struggling a little bit. So we went back to the hotel for a couple hours, refreshed the makeup and hair. I did an outfit change, or not an outfit change. I kept the same outfit, but I kind of refreshed, sprayed it down, whatever. And I wanted to look the best for the show. Now, leading up to the show, my plan had been to be a part of that dressing contest or whatever. So I found this shirt on Shein for like $5, and it said, "My boyfriend is literally on stage." Obviously a joke, obviously meant to be a gift. But I had no idea until we got there to Hyatt. The one problem with the global fan package was you had no idea where your tickets were. So I didn't know how close or far away I was going to be to the stage. Now my tickets ended up being not too bad. I would have liked for them to maybe be a little closer, or else had to an option to maybe like pay more money to get a closer seat or something. But they weren't bad. I was like a section away from this stage and a section away from this stage. So I was like not too far away, but far away enough to where no one was able to see me, unfortunately. But the original plan for the t-shirt and stuff was just like, okay, if I'm close enough to the stage where any of the boys can see me, I feel like the shirt would get a laugh. Um, Particularly from Sylvester. But unfortunately, like I said, I was not close enough for it. What I didn't anticipate, which looking back and the fan zone and everything, was how into the dress up stuff you guys did. Like, you guys looked incredible. The amount of effort that went into like recreating costumes from the music videos. And the girl that they pulled up on stage to dance with them that had the amazing braids. Oh my god, like I'm so jealous. Like her hair was incredible. Um, you guys put so much work into it, and I'm sitting there in like leggings and a funny t-shirt, and I'm just like, oh well. I didn't even end up posting anything and submitting for the contest because I was like, there's no way. You guys are blowing it out of the water, and I'm just in a funny t-shirt. So we gave up on that, but it was a fun experience, and the t-shirt still did get some looks, some funny looks from some of the other 18. And you guys have like blown up my TikTok, which has been really fun and nice. Unfortunately, no one has still seen the t-shirt, no one from the band, but there's always the next concert. Maybe that'll be like my concert shirt, and I'll keep wearing it until someone sees it. Mm-hmm. Also, we did end up going to the Iowan district thing, for the moms that was up on the fourth floor of Mall of Asia. The day of the concert, it was like that morning before fan zone, and that was super cool. I forgot to take any pictures per usual, but I would follow the SB19 Moms page if you guys aren't already, because they do little events like that where the moms actually come and they sell each of their products. Like I know Mylene has her perfumes, and Aldrine has her spices and stuff, and her chicken basil. I think Gemma has some home scents and stuff like that, and even Ken's mom was there, which I was surprised. I hadn't really seen much of Ken's mom up to this point. She was very sweet, and she actually sells a homemade peanut butter that I got a little taste of, and it was really good. Pablo's mom, Miss Grace, was not there, but they did have a booth for her with like a QR code, and you got a little picture, like a picture of one of the moms. You got the moms had their own photo card, and then obviously she was at Havre de Grace, which we did end up going to another day, so that'll be later in the video. Uh, but overall, cool experience. I recommend following their page because they do little events like that where you can meet them and you can get to see their stuff, and if you're interested in that. So, getting into the concert itself, you guys, this was the most incredible show that I've ever seen. The intro alone was insane. Like, telling my brother before the show, I was like, they put on an insane show. It's probably going to be the best show you've ever seen. And he kind of like rolled his eyes and was like, okay, we'll see. And after the intro was done, he literally just looked over and was like, holy shit. And I was like, yes, let's concur. But just the music, the sound effects, the crazy lighting, the smoke machines, the truck pulling up with the decoy members on it just for them to appear in the back. It was the whole thing was crazy and amazing. The cinematics, the extra videos that they put in, the guys working and the trees, bursting into flames and then the seeds sprouting. Like the whole thing, there was so much work put into not just the show and the music, but all the extra stuff, all the cinematography and everything extra that went into the show. Like it had to have taken months of planning and it was just incredible. Even, Josh having the little bit of malfunction with his earpiece for a second or microphone. And then the boys just stepped in and sang his part, and everyone was still doing their part like nothing happened. And I love that part of show business, the show must go on mentality. It really shows how well or how good a performer is because it can be really, I don't want to say embarrassing, but like it can be really hard when you're a performer and stuff starts to go wrong and that fear and that anxiety that starts to pump up when you're trying to figure out the next move or someone forgets a line and you just got to keep going like nothing happened. I mean, the amount of plays that I've done where I forgot like half of my scene and we just like went to the next line and skipped half a page. You just go with it. And the SB19's ability to just go with it is unmatched. They're absolutely incredible at continuing the show. And had you not looked over and noticed him, messing with his thing, you wouldn't have known there was an issue. My favorite part of the show was 100% emoji. I knew going in that that was going to be my favorite song to listen to and the song that I wanted to hear the most because it's one of my favorite to jam in the car right now. And it blew my expectations into the water. Like the choreography was so good. Their voices were so good. They did Jolene's part on their own and you wouldn't have known that it was missing anybody. One of my favorite songs, definitely, and so good live. I'm so excited I got to see it live. They opened with Dom, which I thought was cool because during Simula at Wakas, they ended with Dom. So it's kind of cool that like that song, the beginning of the end and the end of the beginning, it kind of switches, right? So I really like how the whole symbology of everything kind of played out. I think it's really cool. The rebirthing of them, whatever that ends up meaning. I think it's all really cool to see and really cool to be a part of. I'm still so sad that I didn't know who they were sooner. So I would have loved to go to the kickoff show. But still, my journey to get here, finding the last ticket in LA and everything, and then getting to go to the Philippines, it's such a cool trajectory, and in such a small amount of time. I mean, this all happened in under 10 months. So it's wild what life brings at you. And just the show was incredible. I don't know how much I can truly say about the show. I'm going to put some clips in for you guys of some of the videos that I took. But like I said, I didn't take too many videos. I'm not I'm just not the person that has my phone permanently attached to my face. You know, like I like to experience the moment. And there's a billion videos on YouTube of people who film the entire concert. So if you want to see it, go look at that. But I cannot say enough about the work and the level of just the way that everything with them just always gets better. Like every time you think they can't up themselves, they do. And it makes me wonder when these guys ever sleep because they somehow made like a whole album. They planned this concert. They've been doing a world tour. Like, I really just don't know how they have the time. Like, they never sleep. It's insane. I wasn't able to get any of the pictures of the people who did meet up with me during the thing. If you guys do end up sending me those at some point, I will be happily post those to my page. For those of you who did come up and say hi, it was super cool. I've never been recognized before, and it was such a like a weird feeling, but a good weird. You know, like it felt special that people knew who I was and thought enough of me to want a picture with me or to say hi. Like it felt super cool because it's still weird to me, and like I said, not weird in a bad way, but it's still such a different feeling for me for anyone to even know who I am. And so I just want to say thank you to those who did come up and say hi, or saw me but weren't sure, whatever. Like I'm just super appreciative. It felt really nice and good. Like felt good to put some faces to names. I did end up meeting, so I didn't get to meet Chuck. I tried. The service at Fan Zone was awful, and I couldn't find him. Apparently, he was right in front of my face the whole time. I couldn't see him. I did end up running into Melanie though, because Melanie and I had wanted to meet up, and Melanie, funny enough, I had looked for both of them during the Fan Zone, couldn't find anyone, and lo and behold, she ended up being the row behind me at the concert. So I was like, oh, and she's like, oh, and so we ended up taking a picture together and saying hey. She was very much recognized by you guys, which is super cool to see. That's a level of reactor I hope to get to one day, but I'm still low on the playing field, and that's fine. So obviously the cool thing after the show was they had the drone show, which was super cool. I'm still fascinated by drone shows because I don't really completely understand how drones work or how you go about planning where they do and where they go and what they do or what like I'm still call me 95, but I'm still trying to understand it. And so it was super cool to get to watch. And they did the 18 symbol. They did each of the guys' names, and then they did like a picture of them, which was wild. And then, they did an SB19 symbol. They did Salamat or SLMT. Um, so it was just really cool and kind of a special thing that from my understanding, the fans put that together, which still absolutely blows my mind. Like, you guys are such a cool fandom, and it's such an honor to be a part of it because you guys put in so much work. It's incredible.
Doing what we do in the moonlight. I've been loving you, baby, all night. Baby, you and me are shadows on the ceiling. That's my favorite feeling. Yeah, doing what we do in the moonlight. You and me are shadows on the ceiling. That's my favorite feeling. Okay, stay in the moment and keep my focus. 다가가고 있는 that I'm gonna own this. 다급함은 또 봐, 속에는 니구나 인다. 라유 바다로 말라 유배구나. We be going on it, even when the
baby brother here, being the videographer that he knows how to be for Big Sister, after the Wakas Simula show, there she is. There's the happy 18.
You guys, that was wild. That was everything that I could have dreamed for, coming across the world to see and more. The pyrotechnics, the drone show afterwards, the intro with the riding down the bus down the street, and it's just all, I'm so shook right now, you guys. I can't even put it completely into words, but this stage is beautiful.
Like, I mean, just look at this thing. And it goes, from over there, then main stage, and then the same thing over here. And it's like, you have 100, at least 100,000 18 strong in this festival ground.
It was incredible.
Easily.
It was huge.
Because not only do you have all of these seats, but then way off in the back is the standing room.
It was just crazy. It was amazing. I got past a lot of cool freebies. I don't know if you guys like my outfit, right? We got, my boyfriend is literally on stage. Now, unfortunately, I was too far away from the guardrail for Stelvester to be able to see it. But
Oh yeah, second stage, forgot about that. It's over there.
maybe next time, or maybe he'll see my Instagram, whatever. You know, I thought the shirt was funny.
Chicago. Go to Chicago.
Maybe I'll end up at Lollapalooza next. And we will check back in after we get out of the venue if we decide to do anything. Maybe there's an after party. I don't know. We'll see. But if not, we still got a bunch of adventuring in Manila for the next week and a half. But obviously, the big part, I'm going to have some post-concert depression because it's over. But it was great. It was amazing. It was everything I could have wished for. So, yeah, guys, I'll see you later.
Bye.
So after the concert, we ended up walking back to. We ended up walking back to the Hyatt because we missed the shuttle, which is fine. I ended up meeting some more of you guys on the walk back. It was incredible to talk to you. And so cool. I got one of those cool roses that was part of the Nebula project or whatever during the show. So that was super cool. I still have those. I have everything. I saved everything. And so we walked back. We got back to the room, had the concert high, got something to eat, went to bed. The next day, we decided to go to the seaside, Mall of Asia seaside thing, where they got the Ferris wheel and all the games and all the stuff like that. Funny enough, this is where you remember I was talking about the thing that goes wrong on the trip? My lovely little brother, who I love to death, but he is a tad on the naive side. And I had told him before the trip, he's never traveled internationally. And I was like, okay, there's a couple of big rules, like, don't drink the tap water because your body's not accustomed to the bacteria in that water. And don't pet the strays. It's a foreign country, it's stray animals, it's rabies, right? So we're at the seaside thing, we're hanging out at like the Starbucks right there. We're just sitting on the patio. And this kitty cat walks by and starts rubbing up against his legs and stuff. And so what does he do? Leans down, starts petting the cat. Well, apparently the cat liked to get pet on this side, but didn't like to get pet on this side, and it reached around and bit him on the hand. And I was like, what did I tell you not to do? And so we had to go to the bathroom, wash his hand, and then I had to argue with him for a couple hours to go get a rabies shot. So we booked an appointment for the next morning to get his shot. We ended up kind of walking around the beach or whatever, looking for the shoreline, or I guess it wasn't a beach. It was walking by the water, walking down the pathway that has all the rides and stuff. We did end up getting on the Ferris wheel, which was super fun and super cool. I'm semi afraid of Ferris wheels a little bit. It's not so much the height that bothers me, it's the openness, the not having something secure to feel like if I fall, like there's no protection, right? But these weren't too bad because they're little cars. You're not in like that little swinging bucket. You're actually in a car, so it wasn't as bad. But it was beautiful. It was right after the sun went down, so like all the lights light up, and it was really pretty. I enjoyed that. And so the next morning started. Pretty much that entire morning was dedicated to errands. We went to a laundry shop, paid to get our laundry done, and then we took Sean to get his first rabies vaccine, and he learned Araiko so he could say ouch to the fast acting injection that got put in his hand by the nurses. And so that was pretty much the day after, or the day after that was just kind of spent washing clothes and medical appointments because someone doesn't listen to me. So I think he right now still has like 1 or 2 shots left because there's like 5 shots in the series. So maybe next time he'll listen to me when I talk. And so yeah, that day was just kind of spent doing random stuff. We did try Jollibee for the first time. We got to have our chicken and spaghetti, which was kind of an interesting combo, but tasted good. Chicken and gravy and spaghetti together was definitely a new combo for us, but I'm not mad at it. I was kind of into it. So then, so we checked out of Hyatt. Obviously, we had gone to the next Dream World. So I stayed at North Edsa the first time, and then the second time, I stayed at Araneta, which is right across from the Gateway Mall and Araneta Coliseum. So I liked the area because it was kind of near everything. So the next day is when we decided to go to Havre de Grace. We took a grab ride over to Cavite, and the food was absolutely delicious. What surprised me the most about being at Havre de Grace was that there's not very many employees. Like, Grace keeps a very like tight ship. There was like one girl seating people and taking orders. There was one girl doing the coffee. There was one girl doing the dishes. And there was Grace was cooking. And then her husband was kind of running around grabbing packages, and if she was running out of food or something, he ran to the store real quick and like grabbed food. But yeah, she had it's a very tight knit bunch, which was kind of sweet. And she had her little corner section kind of dedicated to Pablo, and there was a stand up cardboard thing that you could take a picture with. And Pablo's dad was very gracious, and anybody that would ask to take pictures with him, he said yes. But like I said, the food was great. I had a latte, which was amazing. I believe it was a Biscoff latte, like the cookie. And it was delicious. Food was great. My brother had pasta, and I had a like cheese fries, and then Carol had a sandwich. She had the hot dogs because hot dogs was the Pablo thing or whatever. And then we had another friend at a different table who had a sandwich. And that was another, being at Havre was funny because it was another situation where people were just like passing stuff out. So there was like one girl that gave us all this like Pablo stuff. And then there was another young lady that I met who is kind of a vlogger or such, and she was taking videos of everything. And so she said hello when we were in her video. nice to meet you. But 10 out of 10 experience. The vibe was very nice. It felt very homey. It felt like your own mom was cooking food for you, you know, like it just felt a bit. But she presented everything on the plate so cute too. Like it was like bougie meets homey. And it was just really cute. Once again, I forgot to take pictures. I took pictures after I ate because I was like, oh, we didn't take pictures of the food. It was so good and we were so hungry. We just like dove right in. And then I was like, oh yeah, I didn't take any pictures. So, per my usual, guys, sorry, you just have to take my word for it. But the food was amazing. Obviously, the plates are clear. One thing I've really come to respect about the moms, like getting from doing the Iwan thing and then going to Havre, was they don't bank off of their son's success. Like, they're not sitting at home expecting the boys to give them a check. They have taken some of the recognition they have gotten from being the moms and they've put it into legit businesses. They've created their own wealth and they're working their butts off, still providing and still working hard, and not just, you know, banking off of their kids, collecting off of their kids. And I just really respect that because you do see a lot, especially maybe not so much with like adult kids, but like, you know, you see it a lot with child stars or whatever. Like the parents are just banking the check off of the kid and using the kid as a workhorse, or just banking off of their kids' success and collecting money for being who they are, or, you know, and doing nothing else. So I respect the fact that the moms really seem to work really, really hard and have their own businesses and have their own stuff and aren't just sitting there talking about, hey, I'm Pablo's mom. Like, she was back there cooking every meal. She had no time for anything else. She wasn't taking any of the pictures, only that Pablo's dad was. She was cooking the entire time. And we were there a couple hours, I think. We were just kind of chilling. And she didn't take one break. So, very hardworking group of ladies. I respect them a lot. I highly recommend trying out Havre if you haven't. It was delicious. So that night, we went to Las Piñas, and Carol showed me the little 18 shop that Mylene owns, the little rice store or whatever. Unfortunately, by the time we got there, it was closed, but I took a picture of the outside. And we decided to just kind of walk the streets, take pictures of some of the scenery and some of the kind of street life that was out there. The people were really friendly. The food was good. This was finally the time where I got to try the Filipino street food. And you guys, it took my heart. Because I told you, like, before this trip, like, I was going to try everything. I was going to try the quack quack. I was gonna try the balut.
Slowly open it like that.
And then you just like start munching on the egg, like
Yeah.
So what are you about to try, Presley? Balut. Which is?
a fertilized duck egg.
Fertilized duck egg. Our new friend Carol is showing her how to properly do it.
Now that's open.
I think the worst part, you just have to get past the mental aspect of it because, like, it's really no different than when you're eating the
Yeah,
egg or
just
the
a hard-boiled
chicken.
egg.
don't mind it. I mean, don't think of anything like EK or yuck.
Well, it's really no different than eating the chicken by itself or the egg by
Yeah.
itself. They're just together. I think you just have to get past the mental part.
You put salt and vinegar mix.
You just munch.
That's basically the little trick there. This part here is the egg yolk, which is what remains after the egg is fertilized and you got the chick. But you still have the part of the egg yolk that's right there. Now you can do it.
Your turn.
You crack it for me.
Oh, Oh, you don't want to mess up your precious nails?
Nothing to do with the nail shot. I just don't want to overcrack it.
I'll leave the vinegar.
Okay, so now I just drink the juice.
Yeah, is it open yet?
So you open it enough. You open it enough to where you can drink the juice out first.
You can drink the juice now. It's open.
You want to put salt on it first?
Oh, do I need salt? I don't know about the vinegar, but I'll salt it. I'm not a big vinegar girl.
You can put a little bit because it kind of complements the. Yeah. Is it? You should try it.
Welcome to the Philippines.
Want me to try?
So drama.
Over the river and through the woods. Look out, stomach. Here comes the balut.
You see first the tube, I mean the soup because it's gonna go to waste if you open it all in all and then how did that go?
It just tastes like, I don't even know how to describe it, to be honest.
See, this would be the time where you'd need one of those little handheld mics. That way you can hear yourself over the street noise.
I really don't know a good way to describe the taste. It's just
Chicken broth?
like a really strong chicken broth. Yeah, like really strong.
A really strong chicken broth.
Yeah. I like the lights on that.
Some people say, if you can munch on this, it's still good to eat because this is the protein from the egg white. Okay?
I think I got the juice. I don't know.
So now you peel the rest of it and you start eating it.
There's an hour.
We'll be back after she
I'll
peels
open
it.
it for you because you might this time.
Okay, part 2. Now that the egg has been exposed,
Okay, if you're not a fan of vinegar, you can just munch on that. Go all the way. Just if you can take it one bite or maybe half of it.
Just take a big old bite.
Yeah. As big as you can. Take a big bite as you can. There.
It just tastes like an egg.
it just tastes like an egg. That doesn't look like just an egg.
In the beginning, you get like a chicken flavor. Like you're eating chicken and egg at the same time. I don't know really how to describe it, but yeah. The chicken is like right in the beginning and then the ending is egg.
So you get the protein and the
Fats. It's more on protein.
you get the chicken and the egg all at the same time.
Yeah.
Do you like it?
It's not bad actually. Like I said, you have to get past the mental part of it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Try not to make eye contact with the fetus.
That you're eating a slightly fertilized duck egg and there's a baby duck in your hand.
It's no different than when we eat the duck when it's fully formed.
Yeah, but that's not as much of a delicacy in the States.
But chicken, we eat chicken all the time.
Yep. And it's kind of exotic if you think of it.
Balut.
We tried the Filipino, like the street barbecue we did the things, okay, and thankfully no tummy troubles, which was nice. I wasn't sure how my body was gonna react to it, but we did all right. And the food was delicious. Like everything was flavored well, seasoned well, cooked well. So when it comes to trying the balloon, no, going into this, I was really, really nervous, and not nervous because like I don't really know how to explain the type of nervous I was. It was just like going into that experience. Like it was almost like the moment right before you skydive or something. Like even though it's not nearly that dramatic, it's just, but I kind of like I had hyped myself up, and I was so focused on not allowing my mind to keep me from enjoying the food. Because I knew that a lot of the times with our brains, we can convince ourselves that we don't like something before we even try it. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go into this open minded and I'm just going to bite. Like, I'm just going to take a full on bite. I'm going to avoid eye contact with the duck, and we're going to go all in. Um, and so that's essentially what I did. I drank the juice first, then peeled back the thing. I was kind of having issues with my nails, so Carol helped me peel. uh, and then I just bit and I ate the entire egg in about 3 bites, I think. And it was good. It really, like, it's going to sound so cliche, but it really tasted like chicken. Like, I wasn't as big of a fan of the brothy, amniotic fluid or whatever. Um, that felt like a really, really strong chicken broth, I guess you could call it. Like, but the egg itself wasn't bad. It tasted like a very eggy egg, like a very hard boiled egg with chicken. Like you were having the chicken and the egg at the same time. Once I took my mind out of the equation and kind of threw it over to the side, the egg itself, the duck itself, wasn't bad. You just kind of had to not psych yourself out. The fried quail eggs, really good. Really small, but I like the deep fried batter and stuff. That was good. And then um I'll put a link down below to my little brother's page. He has the video on his page of him trying the street meat, because we made him try it without telling him what each meat was. So like we made him try each meat and tell us like what he thought offhand, like firsthand of each meat, and then we told him after the fact what each one was. Now, one of them was obviously very obvious. It was the intestines. That's kind of an obvious look. So he had an idea that that's what that was. But he ate pig's blood, pig ear, chicken gizzard, and chicken intestine. He had figured out the intestine, but the other three he had no idea. And so it's genuine, like, offhand reaction from him, which it's funny. So if you're interested in that video, I'll put it in the description. One of the things my brother found really fascinating on this trip was the fact that most fast food places sold fried chicken. What I was not prepared for was that McDonald's fried chicken was actually pretty good. I was not ready for that. The cute little rice cake and everything, and then the french fries, and the piece of fried chicken, which you just don't, the American brain just doesn't think McDonald's and fried chicken together. And if you do think of those two things together, you don't anticipate that the chicken's actually going to be pretty good. But the chicken wasn't bad. Like the outside was pretty crispy, the inside was pretty moist. Like it was decently flavored and decently good, which was surprising. And one thing I did notice was like the different taste of fries, the different taste of, like, I got Doritos and stuff at the store. We had Pringles at the Hyatt. And I'm starting to realize what people say about like the chemicals and stuff being in American food, because stuff that had the same brand and from the same place tasted totally different in a different country. And it makes you wonder what gets put in there. It made me a little more apprehensive to snack foods here in the US, because now I'm wondering why everything tastes so different. Yes. So if you're ever in the Philippines, I recommend trying the McDonald's fried chicken. Never thought those words would come out. So for the last day that my brother was there, we went ahead and because he left a few days before I did because he had to go back to work. We ended up going to the just Gateway Mall was right there, and we actually hadn't been inside yet, so we ended up walking around the mall. There was this really cool Korean store. It was called KKB, and I don't know what that stands for, but it was like a little Korean store, and everything was so proper there. Like, I mean, stuff was color coded and perfectly organized, and they had everything from snacks to like gaming cards to like an entire wall of makeup sponges in every possible color, um, gifts, stuff for your face. It like there was all kinds of stuff there. But I was just amazed at how pretty it was. And then there was a couple, there's cool restaurants, ramen bars. The mall itself, what was nice to me about the mall, it reminded me of American malls like 10, 20 years ago. Malls in America now are kind of dead. Like people really don't go to they're a dime a dozen. Like if you do go, like half of the stores are closed. There's not very many people walking around. Like it's not really a thing anymore. Like malls used to be huge. Everyone went to the mall every weekend. It was a thing. Even if you were broke, you just went and walked around. And that's kind of the vibe I got in the Philippines. Like people really went to all the malls. Like every single mall we went to was busy, and there was families there. And I think that's one of the things that I really enjoyed the most was the family oriented nature out there. Like kids were everywhere, families were everywhere, people were out enjoying things, walking around. And I feel like that's one part of American culture that's really kind of like shifted, especially since COVID, is that people don't leave the house much anymore. Like everyone just orders things off of DoorDash or Amazon or whatever. Like we just get it sent to our house and we don't leave because things feel dangerous or things feel, you're just afraid to leave now, or it's just easier, more convenient to have everything come to you. And it was really nice to be back in that environment of communicating with people and seeing families and walking around, getting that, that exercise and that fresh air. It was just really nice. Funnily enough, on this trip, I actually ended up losing like 10 pounds, like on the trip, because I think a combination of walking around so much more and then way smaller portion sizes. I remember ordering at one point the KFC famous bowl. It's the little bowl with like mashed potatoes, gravy, corn, and like some popcorn chicken on top or whatever. And in America, it's a bowl. Like it's a bowl. When I got it in the Philippines, I had ordered it like Grab or whatever. I think it was the first night that I was by myself, so I just started ordering food because I didn't really want to go out too much at night by myself. The guy comes to deliver the food, and it's like, he hands me this little baggie, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if they got my order wrong, like, okay. So I grab my stuff and I head upstairs, and I'm in my room, and the bowl is like this big, and I was like, oh, okay. So I think a combination of way smaller portion sizes and a lot more getting up and around, you know, the vacation was pretty good for me. Okay, so the last place that we went was the Ibis Sky Bar. It was in the Ibis Hotel that was right across the street from Dream World. Um, and you don't have to be a guest at the hotel to stay there. You walk in the building, you go through the security, you go up to the fourth floor. There's the check-in area there for like if you stay at the hotel. You just walk around, and there's another set of elevators, and you walk in and you press I believe it was like the 18th floor, and it takes you all the way to the top. And there's a cute little bar, there's a little cooking area, and then there's the rooftop pool. Now I don't know if you're allowed in the pool if you're not staying at the hotel, but I know you're allowed to eat at the restaurant or the bar. So we sat down, we ordered these cute little cocktails that were like cotton candy something or other. It was very sweet but very good. It had like a huge chunk of cotton candy sitting on the top. And then we ordered some food, and then just we just enjoyed the view. It was a beautiful view. You could see like super far into, Araneta and Manila, the area. Comfortable. The food was delicious. The drinks were great. The pricing wasn't bad at all. We got 2 drinks and 2 meals for, I think it was like 35 American dollars altogether. But just really enjoyed the vibe. It was very, like, there's music going, but it was also very comfortable. Like, not, I kind of dressed up, obviously, but like, there was people there in shorts and a t-shirt. Like, it was not a dress code or anything. Obviously, the pool was right there, so there was people walking around in swimsuits. The pool does close at a certain point and then reopen. I don't know what the hours are on that. Like, they clean it, and then I'm sure there's a certain point where they don't like people in there once drinking starts. So I don't know exactly the hours when it comes to the pool, but the pool was really nice. The whole area was really nice. It wasn't a very large area, but it was enough. There was probably 10, 15 tables, some couches, and then the pool area. So at that point, I was pretty much on my own for the last couple of days. I did a little more exploring. Um, I went with a friend that I had met out there to a restaurant that was inside of Gateway and got to try sisig. I believe it was pork, and that was delicious. So far, like, I hadn't tried any food that I did not like, which was nice. And I made sure, like I said, to just kind of take my brain out of the equation and just eat stuff as it is and um, enjoy it for what it is and experience everything there is to experience without letting my brain get in the way of, oh, it's made out of this, or oh, it's this. Like, I was just I ate everything that got put in front of me and tried it all with a completely open mind, and I enjoyed everything I ate. So that was nice. My last night, I stayed at the Cabayan because I wanted a hotel that was near the airport so that I was close and I didn't have to worry too much about traffic or anything or missing a flight. So I stayed there. That was a cute little hotel. They had breakfast. That was the smallest room I think I've ever stayed in, but it was also like really nice. Like, it had a nice shower area and nice toilet, like a twin size bed, the TV above the bed, and like a little tiny hallway leading to the door. But like, that was the entire room. But the hotel had like hostel type rooms, like bunk beds that you could share with other people. It had um big suites. It kind of had a little bit of everything. So it's a good hotel for um both like a nice extended stay, and then like if you just need a place to crash real quick, they got options for that too. Nice concierge service. They took my bags up to the room and stuff. The view was nice, and just enjoyed my last couple days. And then I went to the airport the next day. My flight was not until like 11 o'clock at night, Monday night. So I had to, I extended, I did like the late checkout. The latest they let me check out, I think, was like 5:30 or 6. So I left, I got to the airport. Then I found out that at the airport, the airlines share the desks. So like Philippine Airlines has one whole section, and then all of the other airlines kind of share the desks on the other side. And so the Korean Airlines area did not open until I think like 8:30. And so I had to sit there like on the airport floor with all my bags, waiting for like 2 hours before the lines opened. Then we had to get in line. We had to wait for all the lines to go through. That was probably the longest I've ever sat waiting at an airport and in lines. Um, was going through that process. But all in all, once I got through, got to the person, got my bags, everything got checked, everything was good. I got through security, got my passport stamped, saying that I was leaving. Um, One thing that was funny was the stuff that I put through my carry on bag. I had taken all my stuff from the concert with me because I didn't want it to get smashed on the plane. Like, you see videos online of like the people tossing the bags into the back of the plane, so I didn't want any of my stuff to get ruined. So I put all of my stuff from the concert in my carry on. And there was one particular item, which was these cool little globe things that they gave us, and it comes with a light and lights up. I'll attach a picture. Um, and so it went through, and the lady like scan my bag back and forth a couple times, and she was like, "Do you have a crystal ball?" Like, at first I was like, "What?" And then I thought about it, and I was like, "Oh, it's a light up thing that I got at a concert." And she was like, "Oh," and like the bag went through, and I was like, and so the entire time I was going through all the different with each country, I had to go back through baggage and everything, and I was so nervous that something was going to happen and they were going to make me toss it or something. But thankfully, everything was fine. Everything was good. So I sat at Manila for I think a couple hours. I went to like the gift shop. I got some magnets and keychain and stuff to give to friends, and then finally got on my flight at like 11. I think it was close to midnight because I believe it got delayed. Got to South Korea at like 4:30 in the morning, and my flight back to Los Angeles wasn't until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I essentially walked around the airport, took a little mini nap on some of the chairs, got some Starbucks, ate something, and just kind of like passed the time for 8 hours until it was time to go to my next flight. There was actually a Korean Airlines flight from Seoul to Dallas that I was trying to get them to let me on, but they wouldn't. Uh, but I did try, and it would have gotten me there like at 9 a.m., 9 o'clock in the morning instead of spending a whole another day. But nonetheless, spent the 8 hours at the airport. Finally got on my flight to Los Angeles. Spent 13 hours or 12 and a half hours on that flight. Got to LA, and then my flight, which weirdly enough, I guess ended up being one of the last Spirit Airlines flights because they're like no longer a thing. I guess I'm not sure what happened with that, but um, that flight wasn't until I think 4 o'clock in the afternoon or 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and my flight landed in Los Angeles at like 9 a.m. So my little brother ended up picking me up. We went out to lunch together, and then he dropped me back off at the airport, and I waited there for a couple hours until it was finally time to fly back from LA to Dallas. Um, and lo and behold, I guess is one of the last Spirit Airlines flights. So I guess I can add that to my list of things that I did. So my overall impression of this trip, I cannot wait to go back. I can't explain to you guys truly how much this meant to me. Your guys' support leading up to this too, the donations, the likes, the comments, the shares. Um, I hope we can continue this journey together because I would love to see more shows and love to do more trips to your country and get to see more things and get better at video blogging. But this trip was truly life changing. I had told people leading up to this that it almost felt like fate. The way that everything had happened with the LA show, finding the last ticket, um, going to the show, getting to know everybody, meeting everybody, my YouTube taking off, the journey to getting the global fan package, and now heading to the Philippines. It all felt like, I don't want to be dramatic and say destiny, but like it felt like there was a reason that I was supposed to be there, right? And I'm still not completely sure what that reason was, but I do feel like I was supposed to be there. Like I was supposed to go on this journey, this trip. I was meant to find SB19. I was meant to find you guys. All of this is for some reason, and that may be for, God or the universe to tell me in a later date. But I truly came back changed in the best of ways. Um, I felt very humble and, obviously very. I learned that I have been very fortunate, even though I had kind of a rough upbringing and I didn't have the best childhood. I still never had to worry about things like my house flooding, not having food, not having a doctor, not having things like that. And to meet some of these people, especially when we were traveling and doing the street foods and stuff, some of these people that were living out of tins, and the ingenuity that people would use to like craft materials into making a home. I mean, it was so amazing, and they were so humble and so friendly. And so even though they didn't have much, they would have given you the shirt off their back or a plate of food or whatever. And it truly humbled me in a way of being so appreciative for the things that I have and recognizing that there really is a lot of beautiful in the world. I think in today's culture, especially with the internet and news cycles and social media and everything, like the bad news gets so much attention, clickbait, and for whatever reason, our minds, I think, we're drawn to the more bad parts of life. You know, it's more interesting to watch the murder documentary than to watch the cop holding, helping the little old lady cross the street. It's just for whatever reason we're wired like that. I don't know, but I truly learned that, and I've always had the mentality that there's more good in the world than bad, but it was truly nice to be able to see it. I truly, truly believe that there is more good out there in the world than there is bad. The bad just gets more attention. And if I can do anything with my channel and anything um with the, I don't want to say notoriety, but with the presence that you guys have given me, people knowing who I am, my channel taking off, my voice having a meaning. If I can do anything with that, I truly want to help bring awareness of all the good things that are out there, how beautiful some of these other countries are that might be seen as third world or less than or whatever, um, to show how beautiful people are, to show how you can bond over culture and food and music. Um, I just think those things need to be shown so much more, and we need to focus on that so much more instead of allowing social media and the media to like constantly bring us towards the negative. I just think there's so much more beautiful than there is bad. We just need to see it a little more. So if there's anything that I learned, it's definitely going to be that I am so fortunate to have been able to visit your beautiful country and gotten to experience everything I got to experience, meet the people I got to meet, eat all the amazing food that I got to eat, um, see that amazing show and all the effort and talent and work that everyone put in to make this band succeed and to make this show what it was and to bring almost 100,000 people together to enjoy it. I just think that's incredible. And it shows the power of music, the power of people, the power of positive energy and positive vibes. Not giving up. I think that's SB19's story. It's the power of not giving up. So I just want to say thank you guys for letting me in, to the A team, letting me into your beautiful country, letting me into your beautiful culture. And I hope I can do my part to show the rest of the world, um, what a beautiful, amazing place and people it is, because I think that's what we could use nowadays. So, yeah, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, guys. I will be getting back to the reaction videos. We have a lot to watch. As always, I'm a little bit behind on everything, but we're going to catch up. The videos are going to be more consistent now that the trip's over and stuff, and I guess we'll start planning the next trip. Lollapalooza, maybe? The tickets are kind of expensive, but if I can swing it. Anyway, I will see you guys on the next one. As always, I love you guys. Thank you for everything that you have done for me. I'm truly, truly grateful. Um, this was a once in a lifetime experience, but hopefully not once in a lifetime because I can't wait to return. All right. Love you guys. I will see you in the next one.